Welcome to the chattiest show on television. My name is Zach, and I'm here with...
Riley Shea.
Ksenia Semenova.
Rima Bakshrabats.
Lovely for all you to be with me this evening. Well, victory has prevailed. The big news this week is that the tunnel bus has been saved. After nearly a month of budget deliberations, City Council voted to keep the tunnel bus moving. However, there is a downside, and that is they decided to cut the secondary school extra buses. So what do we think about this?
Well, I think Ksenia has some thoughts, so I'm going to let her go first.
I have a lot of thoughts,
Okay.
you know? So the first thought is, why high schoolers don't have yellow school buses? What is the problem and why? Because I was talking with Riley. One of the most important things is the girls' uniforms.
Yes.
How they are allowed to go in their Catholic school uniforms in the public transportation with this Sailor Moon short skirts that are can be called even belts, but not skirts. And it's disgusting. It's horrible. It's immoral.
Yes.
Is the third thing. The second one, how the school buses are formed, the system in the morning. My son's school bus in the morning pickups first. From the beginning, it gets late most of the times.
It's late every day.
Yes. In the morning, it goes to the Westgate School, the public school, and after this, it comes back in 20 minutes or sometimes in 30 minutes, so it's very, really late, and I don't receive any notification on my email. And then it goes to the Catholic board school. So why they're shorting the school buses, the people around, they're not notifying, and sometimes they're changing even the drivers. The drivers don't know us. They don't stop. They just go. They just go. And after this, I need to bring my son to the school.
Yourself, yes.
Yes, myself. So yeah, I have a lot of things to say.
Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know if every high school uses city buses. I know some don't have any bus system at all. Like one of my friends growing up, she had to take the city bus like on her own to go to school. And it was a little scary for her at first, but she got used to it. And then I know on my street, there's like an extra bus, a city bus that picks up high schoolers right at their door. So if they're getting rid of that, then that means they're going to have to either walk to the Dougal 6 or walk to the Transway 1A, which is at the mall, because that's kind of where my subdivision is. So that's like a 10, 15-minute walk in either direction. I don't know if some of the schools do have their own buses, like for high school or not. I'm not entirely sure. But I think it kind of, on one hand, it's great that the tunnel bus is back because that's a huge deal. And it's a big thing that a lot of people use, even people that have regular transportation like a vehicle. If they don't want to bring their car over for like a sports game or a concert, it's a great source of revenue. It's a great community thing to have. But I think it's a shame that you're also taking away these other things when I'm sure there are other things in the budget that we could be taking money from. Now, I'm not a city councilor, as Drew Dilkins likes to say. You know, if we were the people in the room, we would have a different opinion. But I think there's more that could be done.
I'm sorry. I would say that I think it's a huge win for the public that like little by little started having more things for the community. So I think that tunnel buses that are not canceled.
Yeah, that's a win.
It's a win. So little by little, we'll get more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zach?
So I have a few things. I'm also glad that the tunnel bus has been saved because that is like Windsor's history right there. Like that's one of the ways we're connected to Detroit and here. So I'm glad it's been saved. I plan on utilizing it more. Probably not that much more because it's going to be now, $20 to ride each way.
Yeah.
Which is robbery. Let's be clear about what that is. But also the secondary school extra buses, that was something that was actually proposed in the last budget. And look, I'm going to be the unpopular one here. I'm actually for the fact that they cut those buses because there's only like 4 high schools here in Windsor that actually use them. And plus, now that they've gotten rid of that, it's going to be allocated to the existing routes. So like South Windsor 7, Dougal 6, Walkerville 8, which I'm a huge, frequent rider of, is going to be reduced times off peak because now it's like 40 minutes on peak or off peak and 30 minutes on. So if we can reduce the times for those buses and that's the way to do it, then so be it.
So more buses will be coming more often on the regular route.
Yeah, so
Yes.
maybe we need to have just the normal school buses for the high schools, not
That's-
just the taken from the
That's
transit.
something I've been wondering, why do the school board not have?
Yeah, I don't know, because that's all through the school board, right? The city
So
wouldn't
that
have
could-
anything to do with whether or not there's school buses.
So that could be a thing that the school board can now look at is, adding school buses onto those routes.
I think the other thing is a lot of high schoolers can get themselves to school, right?
Rima,
Pretty
what
much,
do you
yeah.
think
Rima.
about
Yeah,
this?
what do you think?
Yes, chime in, please.
We're going to get to you eventually.
I have like 100 thoughts as you guys are
So,
talking.
yeah, share it,
But
share
I'm
it.
actually gonna go back to the tunnel bus thing. Why
Yes.
is it so like heartbreaking for I guess all of you guys that
Zach, put the brick down.
The breakdown, because the tunnel bus is like a part of Windsor history.
Okay.
Like that's always been a thing here.
Yeah.
Where you can easily get to Detroit and Windsor, and especially when there's like games at Little Caesars Arena, you could take the tunnel bus, get off at Woodward, and take the Q line, the tram in Detroit. So it's like an easily transferable thing. I know I had to. Tunnel bus was my and my sister's last resort when we had to see Taylor because
Yes.
we didn't get the special events bus. So
Yes.
According
Rima?
to
So then-
Riley,
Yeah.
as Riley said, that we're not in the room, so we don't know. But what if, really and truly, because I've worked with Transit Windsor before, like doing social media and stuff for them, and the tunnel bus is definitely, I would say, running the city at a deficit because I've seen multiple times throughout probably like an hour of being there that the bus comes and there's absolutely nobody
There's
going on the
nobody
bus.
there.
So technically they would have good reason to want to remove that in the first place, but I don't know why
So-
Windsorians.
So I'm going to say, yeah, if you just look at transit by itself. But all of these projects that are happening, we are tearing out. I was just talking about this with somebody else earlier today. We're tearing out a ton of green space beside the town hall, somewhere over there, or city hall, to build an ice rink because we need an ice rink apparently. Spending
A lot.
thousands
We
of
need it.
dollars on
We need
that. We need some sort of shelter to house this historic tram and put that at the riverfront.
We need it.
When we have hundreds of homeless people
Yeah.
in our downtown core, roads that are falling apart, and we're going to take the tunnel bus away, that, sometimes maybe isn't being used, but when there's a game or when there's a concert, it's full. And I actually know people who went to school in the States living here and use the tunnel bus every day.
People go to work like this, so
And people work there. So, I understand if we exhausted all other options, but when we're building such frivolous, ridiculous things that nobody wants, and putting millions of dollars
and-
into that,
Which is
but
why
then
we-
have to cut the tunnel
and-
bus, I think that's unacceptable.
and I'm sorry, like every year paying for these lights,
Yeah, bright lights.
bright
yes.
lights,
my
500,000. Seriously, could buy new buses.
blood money.
Yes,
Seriously.
We need so we can
Laundry.
run bright lights for free.
Yeah.
and that park, the Jackson Park, is still not open because they still have not finished taking down. So that park is out of use for like 6 months of the year, which is supposed to be a public space. So we can spend money on that, but we can't spend money on transit and the tunnel bus.
But we need an ice rink that will be
Apparently.
open probably just next year.
Forget my bus.
So that's where we're kind of coming from. If
For-
that
But
makes sense.
maybe the ice rink might be generating more revenue than a tunnel bus.
It could, but what
We don't need it.
we have 4 other arenas.
We don't want it.
And Lansbury Park, they turn into an
Detroit
ice rink.
River can also freeze. I just
It doesn't freeze enough.
I zoomed for a little bit out, and I thought, why we don't have a boat? A boat
A
cross,
ferry.
a ferry. Yes, that will cross to Detroit.
I don't know, because I think the bridge or the tunnel is faster. Because ferries take a
I don't know, it would
long
be
time.
so
I don't know. The
beautiful.
Ambassador Bridge, and plus we have a new bridge opening up too.
Walking bridge,
Yes.
right? And people can walk through it and go by a
Yes,
bicycle.
Gordie Howe, that you can walk across.
Also, think about the people who have significant others across the border.
And we need
That's true.
That's
yes.
right. There's no love like tunnel love. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. That's this edition of Let's Talk. You can find these videos on the Zack Attack Productions YouTube channel. Make sure you join us next time because remember, it's the chatter that matters.